leading Frankston 2, and after a very impressive start by Frankston. Well, Preston 9.15, leading Frankston 5 goals 2, and after a very impressive start by Frankston, the wheels seem to have fallen off Rex Hunt, and Preston are right on top here at half-time.
It's quite easily to sit here and be critical of Frankston and blame the weather and that sort of thing, but it was just a matter of time before Preston big guns got firing. And I speak of Burke and Hallis, and Russell has not been a contributor. Bruin has been a great player on him, and he could break fourth with 3 or 4 goals, you know, in a matter of minutes. Preston are just bullocking their way through the packs. Frankston have no runners. Walsh has gone right out of the game. I think Frankston are gone, I really do.
Their high marking's gone. This is one of the other problems too. How have you seen it, Bruce?
I think that Jordan's really controlling the centre at the moment. Geddes is missing Rogerson. I don't think there's any doubt about that. He's missing that other big man to help him. Shaw's been just great in that first half. He's really played it well, as a captain coach should. And at this stage, like Rex, I picked Frankston before the game, but they're gone. They can't get out of it, Phil.
All right, Ian, statistics on the game to half-time.
Preston kick getters. I think the best man on the ground at half-time is Jordan with 13 kicks, Doyle 7, Brian 8, and Ray Shaw playing a great captain's coach game with 10 kicks, and he's directing play right across the field. Frankston, there's only a few kick getters for them. Gamble with 6, Walsh with 12, and Beaton 8. Goal kickers for Preston, 2 each to Jordan, Salvador and Burke, 1 each to Hallis, Fife and Hackney, and for Frankston, the same as it was at the quarter-time break, 3 to Boyd and 2 to Thomas.
All right, and controlling ground activities, Tony Banks.
Thank you very much, Phil. We're now ready for the final of the Mitsubishi Starion sprint, and the runners are heading out onto the track to call the action like he has for the past 6 weeks. Race caller John Russell.
Thank you very much, Tony, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We're here for the 1984 final of the Mitsubishi Starion Sprint, sponsored, of course, by Mitsubishi Motors Australia Limited, and this is the world's richest 400 metres race with overall prize money. And it looks an excellent field shaping up today. The runners down at the bottom of the straight, and we'll introduce them to the crowd as they come down. And the first of the runners to come down the track is the 1980 stall gift winner, John Dynan, who's been very impressive in winning here on Sunday last. John Dynan about to come down the track. He's 24 years of age, and he's trained by Neil King, who has a very powerful representation in the race today. Ladies and gentlemen, John Dynan, running in red from 20 metres. Next to go down the track in the white jacket of 24 metres is Gary Gray, another of the Neil King representatives. Gary Gray, a finalist in the 1978 and 1980 stall gifts. And Gary is 30 and he's running in the white jacket of 24. In the blue from 24, Chris Pegg. Chris is another of the Neil King trained team. He's a winner of the 1981 Ringwood gift, and Chris is 26. In the yellow jacket of 28 metres, Graham West. Trained by Neil King, winner of the 1982 Rye 400 metres, 26 years of age. Here he is, Graham West, and he's followed down now by Paul Young in the green jacket. He'll be in green of 34, former Brunswick footballer, trained by a veteran Fergie Speakman, who's trained many great runners during his brilliant career as a trainer of professional foot runners, and Paul, a winner of the 1983 Avoca 400. In the pink jacket from 36, Russell Elliott, age 21, another from the Neil King stable, a novice runner, brother of well-known former star professional runner Paul Elliott. In the black jacket of 40, we have Tony Roberts of 24, trained by Stewie Bradley, another of the novice runners in the final today. In the brown from 42, Michael Lumsden, trained by Graham Galsworthy, winner of the 1984 Waverley 400. Michael is age 31, running in brown, and behind him, one of the most consistent runners in the series this season, in the purple jacket of 46, Doug Howie, self-trained, winner of the 400 metres at Bendigo and at Wangaratta, and Doug is the veteran of the field at 39 years of age. And the outmarker from 50 metres, Darrell Henderson, running in the blue and white, trained by Snowy Partington, the 1983 Bendigo 400 metres winner, and Darrell, age 37. So we're all set for what looks to be a tremendous final here this afternoon. The 1984 Mitsubishi Starion Sprint, our judge, Mr. Percy Mason, and the starter, Mr. Sid Jackson. Now, very shortly we'll have the runners called up. We've had some very keen contests in the heats over the last 5 weeks, and of course in the finals decided here during the half-time intervals. We'll take this break.
Kicking through the field again in red, John Diamond of 20, in white, Gary Gray 24, in blue, Chris Pegg from 24, in yellow, Graham West from 28 metres, in green, Paul Young from 34, in pink, Russell Elliott running off 36, in black, Tony Roberts from 40, in brown from 42, Michael Lumsden, in purple from 46 metres, Doug Howie, and the out marker in blue and white off 50 metres is Darryl Henderson. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we proudly
present the final of the 1984 Mitsubishi Starion Sprint, and the runners are in the starters' hands. Mr. Sid Jackson to start today's field in what is shaping up as a wonderful final here. And away they go. Henderson leads the way to the back. He's clear from Howie, laying second. Just behind him, Lumsden, followed by Roberts, and then came Elliott, and behind them was Young with West. And a bit further back in the field then came Pegg, followed by Gray, and Dynan starting to make his move with about 200 metres left to go. Henderson the leader. Howie is second, followed by Lumsden. They've got about 150 metres left to go. Making a fast move, Elliott now coming around the outside, and so also is Young into the picture. And then there's a break to Dynan, who's starting to storm home around the outside. He's in the red. And then came Chris Pegg as they make the home turn, about 110 metres left to go now. Elliott moving up on the outside as the leader, tackled by Young at the top of the straight, and Dynan flying around them. Henderson still there with Howie, and over on the inside is West, and there's a fall. Henderson came down. West has taken the lead. Young is coming after him. West's in front. West takes it out. Second home is Pegg, and third would be Young as they go through. Followed next then further back by Gray, and then came at the tail of the field would be Elliott, back there in company with Roberts. And the winner, Graham West, running in yellow from 28 metres, has taken out the coveted trophy here, the 1984 final of the Mitsubishi Starion Sprint. Winner, Graham West of 28. Second placing, going to Chris Pegg from 24. Third, Young from 34. And officially fourth was Roberts from 40. And we're taking you now to the presentation area. Mr. Alan Wicks is there, the President of the Victorian Football Association, and Mitsubishi Motors representatives, Mr. Graham Spurling, Managing Director, Mr. Gary Moore, General Manager Sales and Marketing, Mr. Alan McHugh, Regional Manager, and the Premier, of course, the Honourable John Kane at the presentation area. And we're crossing now to Tony Max.
Thanks very much, John, and the presentation about to be made to Wendy. First, the sash to Graham West, the winner of the Mitsubishi Starion Sprint. Graham, first of all, tell our viewers that you certainly saved yourself there. Yeah. You had the back markers covered there right on the line.
Well, it was a hard race, and I sort of, all you can see is the line coming down the straight, and you know, all you do is just run for the line. It's also, I don't know what was behind me.
Well, I'll tell you who was behind you. John Dynan. Chris Pegg was there also. But there's an interesting facet. You're all trained by the one man, Neil King, and not a bad operator.
Yeah, well...
Did you get the trifecta?
I don't know. I don't know who came second or third.
Those two guys.
Oh, sorry.
Well, listen, you're probably all that excited. We should introduce in a moment here Graham Spurling from the Mitsubishi Company. If you'd like to step over here, meet Graham. He has a cheque for you.
You got ahead of the field and missed all the action at the back there too, but I'd like you to, oh well, I hope you survive it because your strength in running. We're very, very delighted to be here today, and of course overall sponsoring the VFA, and congratulations on an excellent run.
And the Premier of the State of Victoria, Mr. John Kane.
Wish you well. Great performance. Hard run. Always the hardest at 400.
It's a very hard run. It's a very competitive run. And especially in pro ranks, when you run Indian file, you know, you sort of can't take time out to give an inch to anybody.
There's some good runners there today. And you came through, just ran for that line hard.
Yeah, most of us train together, so we know each other's ability. Yeah.
Mr. Premier, congratulations. You're getting more out of him than I did. Right behind you there, you've got the trophy to present to him.
Congratulations, Graham. The good wishes of all. The Mitsubishi Motors Starion Sprint winner. Great performance. Well done.
Thanks a lot.
Congratulations.
Well done to the winner of the Mitsubishi Starion Sprint, and there is the cheque for $1,000.
$1,000. That's really big stuff, and you came on as strong as I think the Starion is like to come on at Bathurst in another week's time too, Graham, so do it again.
A couple of Grahams there and a good plug too for Mitsubishi Starion. Thank you very much. We'll be right back after this break with more action in the VFA Grand Final between Preston and Frankston. Tell you what about the bloody cheek of the Premier? He wants to know who the bloke in the blue is there. I don't know.
The blue was one.
Well, they were fighting. The brown, the light blue and the brown have been having a punch-up.
Who is? Were they?
Who were?
The bloke in the brown jumped top and the one in the light blue.
Which ones?
Yeah.
Got the cameras on them?
Yep. There's a big bloke.
Oh, Chris Pegg. Chris Pegg, yeah, he's a copper. And who's the other one? The bloke in the brown?
Brown is Michael Lund.
What's going on?
Did you ever go at you too, did he?
Oh no, he's my mate.
Who's that?
Big Lumsden.
Which he loves it. He reckons he loves to be a floor and
Yeah.
all.
Where is he?
Big Lumsden. He's gone in the rooms.
Daryl was the one who top pushed.
What was wrong with him?
Oh, the winner pushed.
The one over there.
Winner pushed Daryl Henderson over, and Mick was making his run, and all of a sudden Daryl went out in front of him, and he couldn't make his run.
Okay.
Couldn't make his run.
Hi, Tony.
Just looking at the scores here, quarter by quarter. There we have Preston leading at the end of the first quarter by 13 points, but a big lead here at half-time. Now, Tony Banks is down on the ground there, and there has been a little bit of an altercation between a couple of runners while the presentation was going on. What happened, Tony?
Well, I didn't see a great deal of it myself, but right behind me, Chris Pegg was involved in it. He's just walking from the track now, over there in the blue tracksuit. He was involved in it because this man right beside me, Daryl Henderson, apparently the winner made a run and pushed you over. And you professionals, you're not wrapped in that, are you?
Well, I'll put it this way, I don't know who the field umpires are today, but I'm sure I would have got a free kick. Probably a 15-metre penalty after that push in the back, yeah.
Well, the 15-metre penalty could have made you $1,000, Richard.
It might have helped, yeah.
Well, what do you think? The after-match entertainment should be good in there, shouldn't it?
Well, it might be interesting, yeah. Won't all be happening out here.
OK, Daryl, well, I'm sure the boys will have a drink and sort of forget about it.
Well,
you know,
it's a long season in front of us, we'll forget about it, yeah.
I'm sure you will. Yeah. Well, there you are. You know, these professional runners, they're willing to live and let die. Someone's going to die any minute, I think.
Righto, Tony. Well, we saw it all happen on the screen here while you were talking about it down there. The umpire's coming out onto the ground. Let's look at these statistics. Ian, let's have a look at the interesting side of these statistics.
Well, with 24 scoring shots to 7 at half-time, the statistics reflect the game. 144 possessions to Preston, 95 to Frankston. If you remember in that first quarter, Frankston's main thrust came from the air. Preston have reversed that. They're superior in the air with 41 marks to 24. Handballs 38 to 28. Preston totally dominating the game up to half-time.
Okay, there it is, and Preston 9.15, leading Frankston 5 goals 2. All right, we're back at the ground and we're just waiting on Preston and Frankston to make their reappearance. Here's Frankston moving out and they have the job in front of them. They're down at the moment, 5-2-32 to Preston's 9-15-69, and now Ray Shaw leading his Preston side out. Now, there has been a protest in the Mitsubishi Starion sprint. We have the stewards for the race up here with us, and so as they can work out the terms of the protest and the result, we're going to replay the last 150-200 metres of the Starion sprint. So here it is now, Bruce.
Yes, there's a lot of interference here, Phil. You can see the winner there trying to barge through, and a couple of runners being interfered with over the last 100 metres of the race. Of course, this is the point of the race where we always see some interference in the 400-metre races without lanes, and that's where the problem occurred.
All right, and they're making their way now. One of the players, the back marker, looking around there, and there are the stewards behind us who are looking at it very keenly. So, fellas, once you make up your minds, if you let us know what the result is. Thank you. All right, now let's have a look at some of the highlights of the match to half-time. Rex Hunt.
Well, they were all involving Frankston players in the first 15 minutes of the game when they absolutely dominated. Walsh will be featuring in our highlights coming up very shortly, and he was a dominating player. But as Bruce said, he's really fallen in a hole. Here the ball goes forward. Boyd taking a magnificent one-armed mark and converting for Frankston's first goal. Zarnecki, very prominent early. The ball ended up with Bardol, who cops a boomer. Now, there is some repercussions here because you'll find that Plowman then was set off the ground for that. Bardol again played well early, but then Aitken got on top. Walsh again, a magnificent link player early in the quarter. Walsh again following up, and this time gets the ball to Boyd, who kicks his second goal. Frankston at this stage were on fire. Bardol, eyes on the ball, and a great mark to Bardol, the former Mordialloc centre-half forward. Shaw got on top in the centre, gets the ball nicely forward again, ending up with Fife, who's been a very prominent player with 8 kicks and 3 hand passes to half-time, and Fife puts through Preston's 8th goal. Forward again, Preston. Russell, only 1 possession so far, gets the ball forward. Bruin diving on the ball, but Hackney running around the pack, and with the left boot puts Preston's 9th goal on the board. Hallis was a good player, knocked it on beautifully here. We see Salvador picking it up, and from 35 metres out, made no mistake, and Preston at this stage were well on top.
Yes, and remained on top right through until half-time, as the scores indicate. Preston 9-15, 69. Frankston 5-2, a total of 32 on the mobile scoreboard. Now, let's have a look at this Frankston side. They need Bardol firing on the half-forward line, Rex.
They really
and Walsh,
do.
of course, in the centre.
Walsh now is on the half-forward flank. Being picked up once again by Anderson. He has really played well. Walsh out of the centre. I see Membre in the area there. He's now on shore. And I think Bruce has picked up a couple of other changes there.
They put Baldwin to full forward to give them some height up there, Rex, and Kent has gone into the back line. He's playing on Burke, so that's a big move. Baldwin from full back or back pocket to full forward.
Well, they had to do something, Phil and Bruce. They need attacking players. They need goals. They don't need to save goals at this stage because VFA games are won by kicking goals, as Preston did in the latter part of that first half.
All right, now we're just waiting on umpire Marcy to signal to the timekeepers.
Feel interesting here. Geddes is so frustrated with Jordan coming in at the same side that he's prepared to run exactly the opposite way to way they're kicking.
Right, well, let's see now as umpire Marcy comes in. Comes out wide, and the opportunity for Kane to get away with it, but moving in was Shaw, and it'll be a ball up once again. Marcy moving down, and Phillips coming in to control it now. And there's Geddes going in with Jordan. Jordan tapping it over his head. Didn't find Shaw. No one can get away with it in that mud patch in the centre, and the umpire will ball it up again. Having trouble now, both sides getting it out of the centre. Third bounce coming up. Well, not a bounce exactly, is it? All right, it comes out wide to Zarnecki. Zarnecki now gets it across here, and it'll be the player Gamble to take it upfield towards the half-forward line. There's Anderson moving in, and Anderson dribbles it towards the boundary line. Well, a little bit of niggling going on here too. Frost is one of them, and Boyd the other. As it comes in, being pushed out wide. Zarnecki gains possession, but smothered and over the line.
Frankston's only hope in this quarter is if the ball remains pretty dry. With that heavy ball, they really laboured.
Yes, they're a marking side, aren't they? And it's tapped well wide this time by the big fellow Aitken. Over the top they go. The little fellow's boring in, but they can't break away as umpire Phillips will come in for a ball up again. Frankston 5-2, trailing Preston 9-15.
Phil, Frankston's little fellows just don't have the strength to really break a pack, and that's the difference at the moment.
Not with these conditions, Bruce. They just can't get that yard that they usually have. All right, there's the little fellow Kane coming into it, couldn't get away. Jordan taps it on nicely to Shaw. Shaw caught one behind the ear, made sure he got the free. He heard the whistle, the head came straight up. Old tactics there, Rex.
Yes, he got up. He only got up when he said he heard the free kick was given. That's experience.
Sure it is. There goes the kick on its way. Jordan waiting for it. Goes up with one hand. Couldn't mark it. Coming down rather quickly is Doyle. Doyle racing towards goal. Drops it pretty low. And there's a battle royal going on. Russell is the player in front. Right behind him is Bruin. Bruin taps it out wide, but it'll be forced over the line and out of bounds by Hawler, the back pocket player for Frankston. So Preston 9-15. Frankston 5-2. And they set themselves again in the ruck. No one scored in the first 2.5 minutes of this, the third quarter. The big fellow Burke got his hands to it, held rather firmly, and the umpire says it will be a ball up again. Well, they've had a few balls up here in the last couple of minutes. As it comes out to Bruin. Bruin couldn't handle the ball at all. It goes out towards the pocket and over the line and out again. Preston 9.15, Frankston 5.2. And again, it comes wide of the pack. Gamble gets it out wide. Lynn is down there, is it? Or Membray. Membray now taking it around the flank. It'll be taken by Gamble. And Gamble now opens up play. Plays it in towards the centre. Walsh is there. Got the ball in front of him. No pace from Walsh at all. And Bardole comes into it. Back to Walsh now. Hasn't got the pace he had in the first quarter. Up towards centre forward. Baldwin comes out. Tried to take the mark. Couldn't do so. Zarnecki goes into his opponent. Shaw comes in now. And Shaw putting it out towards the flank position where it'll find his teammate in Hackney. Hackney now goes over the line with it for a throw in. 4 minutes into the third quarter. And Ruckman in there again. A lot of jostling going on. Pushed wide. And coming out of it will be Beaton. Beaton goes down to the ground, however. Scouting around them is Shaw. He gets the hand pass in. Comes up here towards Dunbar. Dunbar with a long kick towards centre forward. Look at Burke go up in the middle of the pack. Fails to take the mark. Bruin gets a short kick in. It'll find his opposition in McKeon. McKeon, long kick downfield. Look at the Preston players down here. Hallis was the player to move in and put him on that. So Hallis right on the tip of the goal square. And you'll see how well they do it here. There were 2 Preston players right on the tip of the goal square. Bruin, well, he was upfield in all fairness and didn't have time to get back to cover Hallis.
He's kicked 1-3 so far, Hallis, lining up for his second goal.
And here he moves into it. And he's put it right through the middle. Preston 10-15. Well, you'll see that mark come up again with Hallis. And Bruin, who is trying to cover 2 areas. Well, I don't know what they've done here on the scoreboard. They've got Preston 90 goals 15. And it's 10-15. They've run out of ones. So it's 10-15, 75 to Frankston's 5-2, a total of 32 on the mobile scoreboard. Well, ball back in the centre again, Bruce McAvaney, but before Bruce, Rex Hunt.
Frankston just have not got the manpower to make a game of this. 43 points is a very, very sad affair to be in the third quarter.
So Jordan and Geddes, Thomas having a run on the ball to Gamble into the sticky centre and then goes wide. He wants Boyd. Frost is with him. Boyd pushes Frost in the back and will take the free kick to Frost. So Frost in the back pocket in that very wet patch where the cricket pitch practice area is. Taken by McKeon. McKeon to Anderson, run down by Bardole. Now beaten. Long handball to Walsh. Walsh goes long to Membray. Very bad handball. Aitken puts the pressure on. Bardole beaten. Again a bad handball to Hilton. Has to wait for it. Short to Geddes at centre half forward. Now he's got Zarnecki. That's the way he'll go. Now Zarnecki can take a chance and take Shaw on, decides not to. Kane and Salvador at it. Be a free kick, I think, for one or the other. It's a good wrestling match. Kane was running downfield. He ran back into Salvador. Salvador put him in a headlock. Kane put Salvador in a headlock. And all's forgiven. And Zarnecki will take the free kick.
The game of football stopped too. Frankston should keep going, Bruce. The only way they're going to get back into this is run the ball. They stop and start. This is right up Preston's alley.
Zarnecki, 45, 50 metres out. Timed it well. That's a good kick. Bardole in the front spot. Boyd with a chance. He's kicked 3. Doyle's got him. Over the top, Hackney, and again a ball up. Well, Ian, how long since Frankston's kicked a goal?
The last goal Frankston kicked was about at the 10-minute mark in the first quarter, so they've gone a quarter and 10 minutes without scoring.
Taken by Geddes, and that's a behind. So the big fellow gets onto the scoreboard, and it's 5-3 to 10-15. Still a bit of fire in this game, Rex, with some jostling behind play, but as you said, Frankston have got to kick goals and kick them quickly.
That sort of stuff is no good unless you've got the football, Bruce.
So White goes straight down towards Bryan, too far for Membray. Fife, trapped it well, great tackle by Zarnecki. Bardole tried to draw a player, had no one to give it to. Now to Hilton. Zarnecki. Zarnecki should go to Kane, didn't. Ran back. Zarnecki towards the big fellow Baldwin. Good footy. It's a bit better, Rex.
Yes, it's a bit better. That's the way they want. Transfer the play, regain possession and move it slowly forward with a set shot. But this set shot business from out of scoring distance is slowing the game up, playing right into Preston's hands.
Breeze has sprung up, as you can see, with the litter on the ground at the moment, and Baldwin 40 metres out. Drop punt, won't make it. Bardole in the front spot. It's going to be rushed through from behind, so it's 5-4 to 10-15. It's 34 to 75. And White will bring her back in as it goes wide. Very wide. Anderson, left foot. Bryan on his own. It'll beat him out of bounds, and it will be a ball in on the centre wing. Quarter time, Preston led 6-7 to 5 goals and 9-15 to 5-2, and now 10-15 to 5-4.
All right, Bruce, they've been playing a total of 9 minutes into the third term, and Jordan goes in, but Geddes coming in right behind him, pushes it out to the boundary line for a throw-in once again. Well, they're finding it very tough to score here. Rain starting to fall again at the Junction Oval. Wind has sprung up, wind blowing down towards the lake end of the ground. Bardole waiting for the crumbs, but Geddes knocks it out wide. It comes through to Anderson. Anderson then up towards Fife. Fife bearing in on the ball for Preston. He'll get a hand pass across here. Oh, unfortunately for them, McKeon slipped, but he'll recover quickly enough. No, he didn't. To gain possession, and bearing in there is Kane. Robert Kane comes out of it well, but look where he's had to kick it into open territory there. No one into cover, and going down here is Boyd. Boyd being tackled rather solidly, but this is the opportunity for Dunbar to come through. He gets it to Shaw. Shaw with a further hand pass into the centre to McKeon. McKeon having trouble holding his feet, gets the push, and he'll get the free kick. No wonder he had trouble holding his feet. He gets the kick in across here, wide of centre half forward, and the mark has been taken by Frost. So Frost looks for the lead from downfield. He decides to go for the long kick, and the mark will be taken in defence by Hauler. Or Kenter, is it? Kenter now gets the kick back towards the centre of the ground, and there was Geddes pushing it down, comes into the hands of Gamble. Campbell gets it out directly here towards the little fellow in Beaton. Beaton dribbles it along the ground. Aitken gains possession. Aitken back towards the centre half forward zone. Up they go for it. And no one able to break away. It comes through to Bryan. Bryan has open territory to play and shot to goal. Full points on the board. Preston 11-15. Frankston 5-4. Rex, do you realise it's 10 minutes into the first quarter since Frankston last kicked a goal?
Yes, I was glad I mentioned that to you, Phil.
Right, it's dribbled wide of the centre of the ground.
You have some great researchers, don't you?
Yes, well, Ian was very good on the job then. OK, it comes through towards Boyd. Boyd now playing it downfield with Wayne falling towards the left forward pocket, but over the line and out of bounds, and here's a player injured behind the play. It's Salvador. But he's in a lot of trouble. Trainer's out to Salvador at the moment. We didn't see what happened, but the play is continuing down on the forward line. There's a replay of it. Salvador comes in. Oh. And Salvador, you can see where the problem is, would be in the kidney region, but players continued. Down on the forward zone, Plowman is on the field, comes back towards the centre of the ground. Up they go, and failing to take the mark there was Kane, but it goes in towards the centre, and the umpires pick the free out of it, and it will be taken by the little fellow in Kane. Kane into the centre. Boyd is the player to take the mark, and Frankston in All the trouble in the world. Can't see them getting out of it as it comes up towards Bardole. He moved into it, but pushed out of position. Comes through here towards White. White into the centre once again, and Kane again backs out of the pack. Plays it out wide to Walsh. Walsh now moves away, lines them up, puts the ball on its way, and this will be a goal to Frankston. They go to 6-4, Preston 11-15. Ball has just been bounced, and here's Tony Banks with a report.
Well, a report on Grat Salvador. The doctor checked his back a moment ago. It appears that he has got a slight contusion in the middle of the back, but it has recovered, and he was able to walk up the race. So good news for that player, because he copped a rough shot. He lost his jumper with one.
A slight what, Tony?
What's that again?
A slight what?
He has injured his back.
Right. OK, and it comes up towards the half-forward line, and the mark has been taken out here for Frankston by Membray. So Membray within scoring range now, and if Frankston can get another goal, it might start to lift the side. As Membray moves in, puts it on its way, goal umpire stays there, and there's a goal. Frankston 7-4, Preston 11-15. There's a fight on the field at centre half forward. They're into it down here now as play still goes on up the field, but the umpires will hold it up. The emergency umpire and the emergency goal umpire are all on the ground. And are they reporting players or not? Umpire Marcy talking with one of the Preston players. He's not short of a word, but play goes on up here now as it's wide of the centre. The little fellow trying to get away was Kane. He's come into the play a lot. Gets it across to Zarnecki. Zarnecki with a hand pass to Walsh. Can Walsh get it around? He's got his kick in. High in the air towards the centre forward zone. No one able to take it. Comes up to Bardole. Bardole the goal. And he's hit them. What close. So Frankston go on to 47, Preston 81. There it is. And look at that, off the side of the boot, and into the post. Well, Plowman now in possession. And Plowman now from wide of centre half back gets his kick in towards the wing on the outer side of the ground, and Bryan is the player to pull in the mark. So Bryan going back for the kick, Bruce.
Had some excitement here in this third term. Bryan with a drop punt. As Frankston make a little bit of a run at Preston, but Preston still in control. Hackney in the centre. Goes wide, all open paddock here. McKeon should go. Goes a little way, over the top. And Atkins going to kick a goal. And that's the answer, 12-15 to 7-5. Mobile scoreboard, 40 points the difference, 87 to 47. I think we've lost that ball. And this will be a dry one at least, which might give Frankston some chance of kicking a couple of goals in a hurry. So it's 32 shots to 12. 7-5 to 12-15. And Geddes and Jordan in the centre. And Geddes wins the tap. Jordan follows it up. Hackney. Round his body. Free kick against Beaton. Hallis at centre-half forward. See this in the Mitsubishi replay as Hackney kicks the ball around his body and then gets flat. Fife took the free kick, bad kick, straight to Boyd. Boyd having a run on the ball. Now kicks it wide to Zarnecki, and he's got a paddock. He's got to take Hackney on, decides not to, goes left foot. Kane's got it. Centre half forward. Little fella's worked hard in this turn. Takes Doyle on. Has a shot now. Drop punt. Bad kick. White's got it. Plays on. Wants Fife. Good kick. Brian's got it. Now Brian could go on to Russell if he wants to. Decides to go long towards full forward. A good mark in the front taken by Kenter. Some good footy there by Preston, Rex.
Yes, great movement of the ball, transfer of play, drawing opposition, and that's the way the game should be played.
Zarnecki in the centre. He's had a lot of kicks. He's done very little with a lot of them, though. To Geddes. Brian got him. Now Thomas. Gamble. Gamble attacks the goal square with a big high kick. White Baldwin. He's going to pay it, and so he should have. Only man to grab it.
Yes, I can't understand why White's going right off. White reckons he had it. Now let's have a look. All eyes are on the ball from behind. Baldwin clearly takes possession of the ball, retards it enough for mine to have enough of the kick, and he thoroughly deserves this shot for goal.
So the fullback playing at full forward has a chance from 15 metres out. Drop punt goal, 8-5 to 12-15. Baldwin's got his first.
Now there goes the bounce once again, being pushed wide at the pack. Hallis comes down, sends it up towards the left half forward flank. Brian or Russell is the player to come out and meet it. He's brought down to the ground and will receive the free. Tony Banks, a report on the result of that Starion sprint.
We certainly have. It's bigger than Zola, Budd and Mary Decker, this one. They've decided, great mark. They've decided there is a $100 fine for the winner, Graham West, placing stand.
Right, so he's won 900. And it's Aitken with the ball deep in the left forward pocket. He's kicked one, Aitken. He's looking back up the field. He's got Hallis up there. Hallis yelling out, but vainly. And there goes the kick on its way. And the goal umpire says it's 4 points. And here's the bounce again on the mobile scoreboard. Preston 93, Frankston 53, 40 points the difference. Wide of the pack it goes. A lot of bigger coming into the game. They're on to Kane down here now. As the umpire blows the whistle, he elects to ball it up again. It's the crowd, of course. There it comes into the hands of Fife, who couldn't control it properly. Out to Anderson. Anderson now high in the air for Preston towards the half-forward line. Not a bad grab, that one. And it's passed wide from Hauler. Comes into the hands of Hilton. Hilton up towards centre half-forward. Goes over the top of players to Boyd. Boyd couldn't get away with it. In there is Frost. A kick off the ground by Kane. Up towards the forward zone, and it'll go over the line and out. Well, I tell you, Rex, Frankston are looking a better side here in this quarter.
Well, they're having a go, and not that they didn't in the first half. Preston just didn't let them in the game, but they've got a little bit of system going at the moment. I think they should be within 2 or 3 goals at three-quarter time if they want to make a go of it.
Right, and there was Bardol trying to mark it on the throw-in, but the umpire has immediately awarded a free and will be taken by Hackney. So Hackney from the last line of defence. He's gone for the short pass into the pocket position, and White have moved out into that area. No advantage in that type of play in my mind anyway. Towards the half-back line, up they go for it. Comes in towards Bryan, who couldn't handle it at all, and it's pushed to the boundary line again. So we have Preston 13-15, 93 on the mobile scoreboard. Frankston 8-5, a total of 53 at the 23-minute mark. And there's Jordan knocking it away into the middle of the pack. Scrambling play until it comes out wide and still no one able to break away with it. It eventually comes from Boyd to Beaton. Beaton across here towards Walsh. Walsh with the long kick downfield. This is a goal. Yes, the umpire says a goal to Frankston. They move to 9-5 and Preston 13-15. Now, what's been the scoring in this quarter, Ian?
Frankston 4 goals, 3. Preston 4 straight goals.
And here's the replay of it. Well done.
Walsh giving them a great lift now on the half-forward flank. Walsh, a very penetrating kick into a slight breeze here, not a great breeze difference, but as the stats do now show, Frankston only gaining 3 points after half-time.
So Geddes and Jordan in the centre, Thomas, and again a ball up. So Walsh, who started so very well and then died in the second term, has made a contribution with 2 goals in this term from half-forward. Again, Geddes and Jordan. Geddes over the top. Russell missed it. Thomas and McKeon. McKeon tries to get a kick away. Shaw falls on top of it, ball up. 93-59. Captain coach thinks for a moment. Must realise that Preston are ever so close to back-to-back premierships. Geddes over the top of Jordan. Zarnecki. Walsh looks for a free kick, gets it. So this is his 17th kick coming up. He's got Gamble wide. Jordan will try and run him down. Jordan did very well. Now Membre. Left foot to the goal front. Baldwin sets himself. Kane tries to barge his way through. Doyle's had a great game. What a player he's been today. Little left footer. Anderson. White. Doyle. Left foot. Not a good kick. Gamble. Went without it. Hilton. Gamble. Paula. Goes to Bardole. Baldwin's on his own in the goal square. White's got it though. Baldwin interferes with him. Plowman pushes Baldwin into the fence and White will take the free kick. Gee, Rex, if they've been able to get it over the top, there's another goal.
Yes, they certainly needed it though, Bruce. Time on here at the Johnson Oval in the 3rd term, and I think Frankston need 2 quick goals to make a game of it.
McKeon with a high one. Burke should take it easily. Missed it. Now Shaw. Long handball to Fife. Dunbar. Scrambly play. Dunbar attacked by Zarnecki. Beaten. Shaw's got him. Leg by Shaw. Hackney caught. Gamble. Fife runs him down. Kane's got it. Listen to the boos. Zarnecki should use Walsh. Can't. Caught 15 metres. I think that was probably good tactics.
Yes, excellent tactics there to slow the game down. Frankston had the run of the ball. Professional free kick and 15 metres by Preston.
Boyd with a good mark. There's no question Frankston's lifted. They're a long way down, but they've given it a lift. So Boyd, who's got a powerful leg to the goal square. Bardole sets himself. Plowman are behind, rush through. So it's 9-6 to 13-15. It's 60-93 as we're about to enter the time-on period.
Well, actually, we're into the time on. It's 27 minutes into the quarter as the umpires recall the ball for the kick-off again. So on the mobile scoreboard, 93-60. 33 points the difference. Short kick-off, and the mark has been taken here by Bryan. Bryan now plays it across, and Doyle is the player to come in. He passes back. Anderson coming down. Anderson goes for the hand pass back to Doyle. Doyle to Fife, and Fife now with further hand pass to Doyle. Doyle nearly ran into trouble. Sidesteps nicely, grabbed high, but it's kicked down towards the left forward pocket where Hallis races in after it, beats him over the line. 27.5 minutes into the 3rd quarter. 33 points the difference in Preston's favour. They set themselves again, and it comes tapped wide. Kick there by Dunbar. but marked by Haller right in that last line of defence. He gets it out to the half-back line. It's Hilton who takes the mark. He passes to Bruin. Bruin coming upfield, looks for his little teammate in Kane. Kane now turns around nicely. He has a player out here in the centre, Membray. Membray can go on with it. He tries to do probably too much. He'll get caught. He's tapped it out wide, waiting for it to Zarnecki. Can Zarnecki get away? He's got the kick in towards the centre half-forward zone. They pluck, and the mark has been taken by Baldwin. Now, Baldwin within scoring range. We'll see this happen again. Couldn't get the tap out, White.
I was going to say, Phil, Baldwin's given them something up forward.
Yes, and he's got it on its way. Is it coming back? One behind. So Frankston move on to 9-7, 61, and Preston 13-15, 93. Shaw is taking the kick off now, and he's played it out to the half-back line. Missed then by Bryan. Now, can they get back into it? A hand pass here towards Baldwin. Baldwin couldn't get away, pushed out in the direction of Boyd. Boyd has the chance, but there's Shaw making amends. He's come up from the full-back position, going right around the flank. He certainly played a captain's game, a coach's game here today. And look where he's put it, straight into the centre of the ground. It comes through towards the little fellow Hackney again. Hackney now up towards centre half forward, and a good mark taken in defence by Kenter. Kenter looking for the lead, but he's decided to go the long way around to the wing on the outer side of the ground, and it was Kane or Beaton who moved out there to take it. Beaton. So Beaton looks for the lead in the centre. Gamble goes up, fails to take the mark. Hackney is the player controlling the ball now, but a pick up this time by McKeon. McKeon towards centre half forward, and the big fellow Burke took the mark. The umpire says he can go back and take the kick. So there'll be a 50, well, he applied a 15-metre penalty. The player put the, yes he has, the player just put the ball down well away from Burke, and that's put Burke now within scoring range. He's at the true centre half-forward position, kicking towards the lake end of the ground. Preston 93. He's kicked 2-4, Burke, and Frankston 61 on the mobile scoreboard, and the goal umpire in the middle, and it's full points on the board. Preston go to 14-15, 99 to Frankston's 9-7, 61, and there's the siren for the end of the third quarter. Tony Banks making his way out onto the ground, and this time he'll probably be talking with Josh Kendall. Down to you, Tony.
Graham Kendall, 7 goals the difference. Still capable of making up the difference in VFA football. Are you happy?
Yes, we sure are. That was a lot better quarter. There's a lot more endeavour shown by our players, and these blokes are starting to tire. They've been tackled really hard, and we'll see how good they are now.
Graham Kendall promising a big last quarter in the VFA Grand Final between Preston and Frankston.
Would all spectators keep off the field, please? We ask you for your cooperation on behalf of the Victoria Football Association. Please keep off the field and remain behind the fence at all times.
Know the difference? You guys are the best players. You're superior players. You can do it. Hey, come on. Run. Chill. Come on, you've got to still be tough. You've got to keep running straight at him. Keep running straight. Keep them back. There's nowhere to move. Come back. Come on. Come on. We've got within a bloody point of them over there. We'll get within a point of them again and we'll go on with it.
Immediately upon completion of today's Grand Final for the 1984 Mitsubishi Motors Cup, the presentation will be made on
Well, there are the players in a huddle there with Preston 14-15, Frankston 9-7. Few up around the box here, Rex saying that Frankston are in there with a chance. Right, gee,
Well,
they'll have
they
to
might
turn
need
it on.
that bloke. They need Tarzan to give him a bit of a lift. Obviously, someone in extreme pain downstairs. But look, I said Frankston were gone at half-time, and I reiterate what I said. I think they're gone at three-quarter time. Sure, they lifted, and why wouldn't they lift? There's some fans of yours down there from Geelong West, Phil, by the sound of it.
Yes, they've got long memories, so have we. They got big mouths too. All right, to Bruce. What do you think, Bruce?
Well, it was a lot better quarter, wasn't it, Phil, by Frankston? They got a few things working for them up forward. Baldwin took a couple of big marks. I thought Zarnecki and Kane worked very hard, but they're a long way behind, and I think Ray Shaw's about to play in his first premiership, a winning premiership side as a player, and he's only got 30 more minutes to go.
Nice to hear some of your mates from South Australia, Bruce.
Well, they don't talk like that, Phil.
OK, Ian, statistics on the game.
A far more competitive quarter that quarter. Preston managed 5 straight goals. Frankston 4 goals, 5 for Preston. Ray Shaw playing a tremendous captain's coach game with 13 kicks, 9 hand passes, a total of 22 possessions. McKee on 13 kicks, Doyle 11 and 5-10 for Frankston. Walsh, although he's been spasmodic, generally he's been their best player with 17 kicks, Gamble 11, beaten 12. Goal kicks for Preston, 3 to Burke, 2 each to Jordan, Salvador, Hallis and Atkin, and 1 each to 5, Hackney and Bryan. And for Frankston, 3 to Boyd, 2 each to Thomas and Walsh, and 1 each to Baldwin and Memray.
OK, and there's one of your fans talking to you down there. Now, Rex, they've lost interest in the game, evidently.
Well, all
but
the
Ray
fish
Shaw...
are here today, and of course I send them all my best.
All right, the Zane Grey of football, Rex Hunt, speaking there with his fishing store. Where is it? Down Black Rock, isn't it?
No, that was 2 years ago. I was now in 15 Bay Road, Sandringham. Thanks a lot. You've got them all going down to Black Rock.
Sandringham it is now. Just as you turn the corner off the
beach road.
Off the beach road. I thought I'd better put that in for you. I moved you too far. But Ray Shaw is still talking pretty soundly to the team. And this is the danger, I suppose, Rex, that Ray Shaw has to keep them up there.
Yes, I think he'd be saying now, listen, they've thrown everything they can at us. It'll be interesting to see, but I think that's what he'd be saying. They've thrown everything we can, and we've stood it, and we're 7 goals ahead. We've got it won. Don't let it off the hook. Even if they keep goal for goal with them, they're going to win by 7 goals. But I think Shaw would be saying this is the last 30 minutes of football for 1984. A chance to make history. Let's do it all together.
Right, Preston 14-15. Frankston 9 goals, 7.
It's a person that wants to run the hardest. We showed in the second quarter. 2 points.
This isn't for them slowing down.
We're giving them full credit to you. Every time they kick 2 goals, we kick 1. We fought hard. Young bloke like Cameron come to the club. Walked off the street. Can I have a game? That's what he said to me when I walked out the door. Can I have a game with your club? Because you're a great club. I heard about you. Now have a look at him now. He's just starting. Everyone up in there.
Come on, John. It's worth it. Come on!
They made us bloody fumble, they made us kick the ball around. We've got to go direct. We've got to go up there into the square. Berkey's going to play in front. If he doesn't, I'll kick his ass.
Right, back here we have the Frankston side already split up in complete contrast to the start of the game, where they stayed in a huddle for about 2 minutes while the Preston side had already taken their positions on the field. So in this, the final quarter, we'll have Preston kicking towards the right of the screen. That's the Fitzroy Street end, and Frankston towards the left. But they have a big job in front of them. They're 38 points down at the moment, Frankston. But let's have a look at these statistics, Ian.
Preston still dominating the game. Possessions 198, Frankston 170. Kicks 145 to 118. Preston still slightly stronger in the marking area with 56 to 50. Frankston pulled a lot back in that third quarter. And free kicks 20 to 14, handballs 53 to 52.
OK. And Tony Banks now with a report from the Preston area.
I'll tell you one thing, that I've never heard a more imploring speech by Ray Shaw at three-quarter time. He asked his players to win for him. Then he said he was selfish. But I tell you what,
Preston will do the final.
Good luck to you, pal. Preston are going to win because Ray Shaw wants them to win for him, and I think that's the message he got through to his players.
That fellow who spoke to Tony Banks then didn't know how lucky he was. Anyway, Preston 14-15, 99, Frankston 9-7, 61 on the mobile scoreboard. And of course the Mitsubishi Cup will be presented right after the match on the ground here today. Josh Kendall, a very worried coach at the moment, got them into the final. A terrific effort to get Frankston there, winning their last 9 matches. But it looks as though all that to no avail here at this stage in the game. Umpires come in. He's getting the knockout from the ruck down towards Membray. He in two minds and didn't know whether to pick it up or kick it. It comes back to Walsh, and they're fumbling a bit now, Frankston, and their over-anxiousness to gain possession and get it down to that forward zone. So it will be a ball up.
Phil, I think if Frankston has any chance, they must kick 2 or 3 with the dry ball early.
Yes, they need to get a goal very early in the piece to be able to lift them, and this might be the chance. As it goes up, it went too far for Zarnecki, but it comes out here to Boyd. Boyd now having trouble in trying to control it. White is the player. He gets a long hand pass in, and it goes across to McKeon. McKeon up towards Jordan. Jordan balks, and then we'll get the short kick, but it'll go straight into the hands of the Frankston player in Hilton. So Hilton being crowded, and the umpire calling Fife well back, the 15-metre penalty. And Hilton now will try and penetrate the Preston defence. Touched as it goes towards Zarnecki. Zarnecki now with a big roost down to the forward zone. They can raffle this, Preston, but they couldn't control it at all. And this is the chance for Boyd. He got the ball, but couldn't get into open territory. Through to Membray. Membray now dodges nicely, passes into the goal square to Boyd. And Boyd puts it through for full points. Can this lift the Dolphins? Righto, now Marcy, the umpire Marcy, with the ball, and there's the replay of it, and it was well done. Membray then could see Boyd in the goal square, under pressure, put it through to him, and that was Boyd's fourth goal for the match. Frankston can get another one here, but they won't, because coming through is Plowman. Plowman couldn't get the ball, but Bardol picks it up, sends it up towards the half-forward line. Up they go for it. Little touchdown here. Moving in is Frost. Frost couldn't get the ball. Boyd tried a further hand pass, grabbed, and the umpire has allowed the play to continue. No, he's pulled it up. What's he given it? Holding the ball.
Holding the ball against Boyd, Phil.
So the player to take it is White. White now from the half-back line out to the flank. Up they go. They're going to punch it away each time, the Frankston players, but Dunbar now. And Dunbar with a long roost down towards the forward zone. But Bruin is in there. It goes to Hauler. Hauler tries to get the short pass in around the boundary line. Might have hit the ground first or gone over the line. Pushed over the line by Thomas. Now back in it comes once again. Jordan getting the knockout. It goes towards Shaw. Shaw, who's been playing particularly well, up towards the forward zone. That was Russell. Russell tried the short pass across to Shane Hallis. Hallis is grabbed, pushed in the back, and the umpire will give the free kick. Not a bad kick either, Hallis, so he could get the goal up here for the Bull Ants. They've played particularly well. He's kicked 2-3. And once they settle down early in the game, Preston, they haven't looked like being beaten, but the umpire goes right across here and will indicate one behind to take Preston on to 14-16, the century up now. To Frankston's 10-7, a total of 67. We're in the 3.5-minute mark. Horler comes out with the kick-off, drops it a little bit short here, and this allows Shaw to grab it. Shaw with a long hand pass, a bad kick-off by Horler, really. But again, we see Frankston through Hilton, getting it away, and Bruin winding up to chase the ball here. Behind him is Hallis. And Hallis had taken a deep breath there, ready to take the lunge, but it had gone over the line. Well, Frankston battling away to the bitter end. And they haven't got much time to do it in now, Rex.
No, 5 goals is not a lot in VFA football, but Frankston just haven't got the stars to do that sort of thing at this stage.
Well, Geddes kicked the ball straight into the face of McKeon there, but umpire Marcy says it will be a ball out. They've missed Rogerson too, I feel. Frankston on the forward line, the big marking fellow. And when that rain came, it didn't help Frankston's marking game, but all credit must go to Preston for the way they came back after that devastating 4 goals, then 5 in the first 10 minutes of the game. There's Geddes battling away against Jordan, neither of them getting it out to the little men. Hallis is the player in there, but Beaton comes in to try and get it away. Will come out wide, or trying one-handed job there was Hilton, but this allowed Bryan to come in. Bryan sends it up towards centre forward, off the hands of the pack to Horler. Horler goes for the boundary. Will it be kept in? No, it's out. So we have Preston 14-16, 100, Frankston 10-7, 67.
I've noticed now wearing 43 is the player who came off, number 6, Salvador.
Now Kane, Thomas and Fife. Fife to the boundary line. Not a bad kick by Fife round the boundary line. It's a behind. So Fife today's kick 1 goal 4. And Preston move up to 14-17 to 10-7. It's 101 to 67. As Bruin's about to bring it back in. Gamble sets himself in the middle of the pack. Fife, who had that very good second quarter. Hallis on the up, but couldn't find Bryan. Strong body work by Salvador. And again, a ball up. Half-time, Preston led 9-15 to 5-2. But if you missed the first 10 minutes of the game, it was all Frankston. They kicked the first 4 goals and looked really good. Dunbar to Fife. Still Fife. Left foot. There's a bit of a fight going on behind play to the goal square. Bruin. Dunbar tries to converge on it. Bryan and Horler having a bit of a wrestle. It's going to be a ball in, and now Beaton and Russell getting involved. I suppose there's no next week. There is a next season. But with 34 points of difference, Preston really don't need any of that at this stage. They've got it well won if they just keep playing footy. Bruin with a high one. Geddes and Jordan. Now McKeon. Bryan short. Bryan plays on. Tacks the goal. Drop punt. Good kick. Goal. Well done. 15-17, 10-7. It's the real sealer, isn't it? Mobile scoreboard, still 40 points the difference. Preston 15-17, Frankston 10-7. Plowman goes wide to Bryan. Bryan, who's kicked 2 goals, to Doyle. Doyle with pace to Jordan. The big fellow's taken the mark. Been a great player, Jordan. Geddes hasn't stopped trying, but Jordan's won the battle. This is his 15th kick coming up. He's kicked 2 goals. Drop punt. Burt, good footy. Burke's kicked 3-4. Just too big and too strong then for Kenter. Now Burke from 30 metres out. Drop punt. Goal. 16-17, 10-7. All yours, gives it.
It's all yours, Rex. Right on the bounce, it comes out to Membre. Membre with a long hand pass down towards the centre half forward position. Plowman was battling in there, couldn't get away with it. That's Walsh trying to gain possession. Does so, plays it up towards the centre forward zone. Chipping in here for Preston is Doyle. Plays it out to Hackney, and Hackney comes in, gets the free, and will take it from the half-back line. Jones waiting to come on for the Frankston side, just moving on.
Notice one player who hasn't had a run at all today, Phil's mark on. He must be pretty cold sitting on the interchange bench. The little fella for Preston.
Yes, and he's a good little player too, a great little mark. Anyway, we see here it's Fife who'll go back to take the kick from the half-back line. Got a push in the back, and Fife now with his kick around the wing, and Hallis moves in to take it. He's played a very serviceable game, a good game for Preston today. Hallis now with his 10th kick coming up towards the right half forward flank, and it's Salvador who's changed numbers. Had his Guernsey ripped off him earlier. Plays it towards centre forward. A bit of shepherding going on, but it'll go through for the behind. So Preston 16-18, 114. Frankston 10-7, 67. Kick off by Horler. He plays it out here towards Gamble. Gamble coming in, got his hands to it. Hallis behind him. And there we see Salvador again, getting the hand pass into Dunbar. Dunbar about to be tackled, but under pressure, passes it towards the boundary, and it's over. Preston 16-18, Frankston 10 goals 7. Well, I don't think Frankston should be all that disappointed, Rex. They've put up a fantastic effort to get this far.
They've had a go. They have lacked manpower, but they can hold their heads high. They've done a colossal effort even getting to the finals, let alone into the grand final. In a situation, 20 minutes in the first term, they were 4 goals to nothing.
And we're 10 and a half minutes into the last term now. And all seems lost for Frankston. Preston 16-18, Frankston 10-7. Well, there was the kick by Dunbar, tried to kick it in the air. Gamble's got it, passes to Horler. Horler with a further pass through here towards Thompson. Thompson back to Horler. Horler around the flank position. Geddes goes up here, but it comes through in the direction of McKeon. McKeon ends up on the ground, and moving down is Dunbar again. Dunbar now kicks it around in the direction of teammate Jordan to take the mark. Oh, gee, he's played well all day too, Jordan. Really had the hand pass smothered, but comes through to McKeon. McKeon to centre half forward, and coming out to take it is Burke. Get on with it quickly. Burke now with his kick towards the centre forward zone, and this will be an easy one. Bryan came out to take it in, or Hackney, was it? Hackney. So Hackney well within scoring range, 20 metres out directly in front. He's kicked one. Lynn getting ready to come on the ground. They're still interchanging, but a lost cause, only about 18 minutes of play left. As Hackney now lines them up at the Fitzroy Street end of the ground. And there it is on its way. He's put it through for 4 points. Preston 17-18.
Bardola Jones, but only as far as Doyle. Doyle's been the best of the defenders today. He's played a dashing game to Plowman. Plowman, who was reported in the first term. It's 17-18 to 10-7. So Preston are going to win back-to-back premierships, and Ray Shaw's going to finally play in the premiership side. Doyle takes on Thomas, takes on Jones, must be caught. Gee, Rex, he's worked hard. He went one man too far for the first time today.
And he's got enough sportsmanship to tap Jones on the head and say, great tackle, Jonesy. He's played a great game. He's fair, he's tough, and he's one of their best players.
Jones towards Walsh. Anderson, what a great game he's played. McKeon. Still with McKeon, and it'll be a ball up. I don't think we can underestimate Anderson's performance.
Anderson is the man who came on and stopped Walsh's run, and he's been by his side ever since, and it's a great credit to Anderson and Ray Shaw for making the move.
So Walsh took the free kick, looked for Boyd, and it's going to be a ball in. So in this final term, Preston has really wrapped it up. They've kicked 3-3 after Frankston got that early goal through Boyd. Plowman and Bardole to do the ruck work. Bardole, not such a focal point today at centre-half forward. Fife tries to get a free kick, gets it, plays on. Runs his full 15 metres, goes towards Bryan. Bryan didn't attempt to mark it, thumped it out, and it'll be a ball in. The followers for Preston and the Rovers have given them great drive today. Bryan's been so very good, so's Dunbar, and also Hackney and Shaw, of course, the captain coach. Jordan and Geddes. Thomas kicked 2 goals in that first term. Free kick against Doyle there. So it'll come back to Thomas, half-forward flank. Thomas goes to centre-half forward, goes wide to Walsh. Big, strong fellow almost took it. Membray tries to shepherd. Now Membray. Miss Bardole with the handball. Zarnicki very cleverly to Jones. Jones breaks through. Left foot round his body. Now Boyd's got a chance here if it'll sit up for him. Still with Boyd. White after him. Still Boyd. White runs into the boundary line. Back to Bardole. Bardole with his kick smothered to Beaton. Beaton taps it on towards Membray. Gee, they're working hard, Frankston, to try and get a goal. Membray to the goal square. Crashing through McKeon. McKeon out to Shaw. And the captain coach will take it away from the back line.
Yes, and here he goes, swinging it out towards the wing on the outer side of the ground. Hackney was out there, but it's over the line. And we have Mark on now, about to come on the ground. He's waited a long time, Bruce.
Geez, clothes are still clean, aren't they, Phil? You can tell he hasn't played today.
Better see him on the other side of the ground. All right, back into play it comes. Jordan goes in there with Geddes. Jordan effects the knockout. Fife overran the ball, and it will be a ball up again. This will be a premiership, the second year in succession to Preston's 3 sides. The firsts, the seconds, and the thirds. Seconds winning here today again. There's Jones going around the pack for Frankston up towards the centre forward zone. Up they go. Oh. Moving in there is Boyd. Boyd now shoots for goal, and he's put it through for 4 points. That was his 5th. Well, 120 plays 73 on the mobile scoreboard. Mark-on sprinted out on that ground, anxious to get into the game like a terrier. There he dives in at the ball now, and the umpire blows the whistle and has elected to ball it up. Didn't take him long to dirty the Knicks, Bruce.
No, Phil, and the man that came off for him, Doyle, deserves a big clap. I think he's played a mighty game.
Hasn't he? All right, Geddes getting the knockout from the ruck, but it comes through to Plowman. Plowman up towards the centre forward zone. There's Bruin kicking it off the ground. Back into the centre. Jones it is who goes for the long hand, gets a push, and the free kick will be given further afield. It's Jones who's got the free kick. It was Kane who put it across to him. But again, we see the mark being taken by Plowman. Plowman to Fife, and Fife takes it on the half-back line. So Mark on yet to get a kick. It goes out towards the wing on the outer side of the ground. A bit of a shove to go on with, and the umpire has given the free kick to Dunbar. So Dunbar to Fife. Fife further upfield towards the half-forward line. Russell came out to meet it. Bruin right behind him. And it's, as the umpire says, it's gone out in the full. It has. So Bruin put it out on the full, and the free kick will be taken by Russell, who hasn't scored a goal.
I was going to say, Phil, Bruin's done a great job today. Russell 10 in the second semi-final, 0 today.
All right, it goes into the hands of Geddes. Thomas now from the half-back line to the outer side and dribbling over the line. Up to the 18-minute mark in the final term. And the presentation will take part out on the ground here today. The presentation of the Mitsubishi Cup. In they move once again, back to back. Pushed out wide. Oh, Walsh spun around then. He's having trouble trying to, Zarnicki rather, having trouble trying to get into it. And the umpire will come in and ball it up. And now In they go. Geddes rose pretty high then to get the knockout. Pack play going on. And again a ball up from wide of the centre of the ground. Preston 17-18, 120. Frankston 11-7, 73. And Jordan directing the knockout wide, but Jones racing after it, but it's beaten him over the line, and it will be thrown in again. While Preston going for the negative play, Rex, you can't blame them.
No, I think that they realise they've got it won now. Since quarter time, they knew they had a pretty good chance at half time. It was all over, but they know now that they've got it and they're quite prepared to play out time.
Righto, and the mark by Doyle up here on the half-back line. He sends it around the flank position. Jordan comes into it again, and Jordan now with the kick across looking for Hallis. Hallis comes up to meet it. He gets a further hand pass in. Markon got a tap, and eventually we see coming through is Hilton. Hilton playing it up towards the half-forward line. Preston players overrunning the ball, moving in as Plowman. Comes out, Shaw is the player to gain possession, gets the hand pass across here to Anderson. He in turn towards Markon, and Markon has taken the mark. Well, he's waited for most of the match to take the mark and now take the kick. Too far out to cap it off with the goal. He's got the lead, and he's got the nice pass in this time to Salvador. Salvador, who played particularly well in the first half and was instrumental, I would say, as one of the players, one of about three who got them out of that early trouble. It's his 13th kick coming up. He's got it on its way and he's missed it and put it through for one behind. So Preston go to 17-19 on the mobile scoreboard. Frankston 11 goals 7. Brewer with the kick-off. And he's got the lead from Jones. Jones waits for it to splash and then will move into it to get it further downfield. Let's see if he'll go for the kick. No, he's gone for the hand pass, and he's got it to Thomas. Thomas having a battle getting through players, but then goes for a nice old roost right up towards the goal square, and the umpires paid the mark. It's Baldwin. He just held it long enough, Baldwin. Oh. You reckon he held it, Rex?
Well, even me with my big backside and my marking ability, if I'd have taken that and been given it, I'd say, well, I was pretty lucky to get that one.
Well, here he is, lighting them up. But they're a long way down. Frankston on its way. And it's a goal.
Mobile scoreboard, Preston 17-19, Frankston 12-7, so 7 goals the difference, 42 points as we're up to the 22-minute mark in this final term of the VFA Grand Final. Jones towards Boyd, and he's got it. Kick 5 today, Boyd. So he's kicked more goals than any other player on the field. It's a beautiful kick, Boyd, and a good mark, as you'll see on the Mitsubishi replay. In front, Frost at the back. Kick number 11 coming up. Drop punt. Strong and long, but he's missed. It's a behind, so Boyd's kicked 5-1. I had him down for 4. He was down for 5, so 5-1 to Boyd. And it's 12-8 to 17-9. Beautiful kick, Boyd, and a good mark, as you'll see on the Mitsubishi replay. In front, Frost at the back. Kick number 11 coming up. Drop punt. Strong and long, but he's missed. It's a behind, so Boyd's kicked 5-1. I had him down for 4. He was down for 5, so 5-1 to Boyd. And it's 12-8 to 17-19. White to bring her back in. What a great day it's been for Preston. Their #1 ticket holder, the Premier John Cain, here today. They've won the 3rd, 2nds, and now the A-grade premierships. Left foot by McKeon. Mark on Bruin, and it's going to be a ball in. Been a lot of good players for Preston today. None better than their captain coach Shaw or also Jordan. They've been great, the big ruckman and the captain coach. So Brian in the front, Geddes at the back. Brian will take the free kick on the centre wing. Shaw's having a rest now. He's gone to a forward pocket. So Brian from the centre wing. Drop punt to the pocket. Russell and Bruin will take the free kick. I think when Frankston hand out bouquets tonight, Rex, this is one for those who should get one.
Yes, he can hold his head high. To keep a man who kicked 10 in the second semi goalless today has been a great effort by Bruin.
So beaten, sharked it well. Goes wide, looks for Walsh. Walsh in the front this time of Anderson. Walsh was great early. Handball onto Geddes. The listed trophy winner with a high drop punt towards the goal square. Baldwin and White. Baldwin taps it down. Bardole couldn't take it. McKeon did off one leg. Missed there by Anderson. Markon. Second kick round his body. Left foot towards Salvador. Salvador's been too good for Cain. To Fife. Salvador should get a free kick. Cain all over him. Lynn to Walsh. 20th kick coming up. Left foot high. Jones and Doyle. Good mark by Doyle. Hackney's now off. Doyle back on for Preston. Doyle's been great in the back pocket today. 16th kick for Doyle. To Bryan. Bryan goes wide to Salvador. Salvador with a little one to Jordan. And the big fellow as easy as you like. Then goes wide to Hallis. Hallis's mark almost went to go on, but decided against it. So Hallis, who's kicked 2-4 and 1 out of bounds on the full. Gamble on the mark. 17-19 to 12-8. Hallis 50 metres out. He's a beautiful kick. Drop punt. Just missed. It's a behind. It's a beautiful kick, but he's kicked 2 goals.
Right, on the bounce is a hand pass out to Ray Shaw, probably the best player on the ground as it comes up towards centre-half forward. Pass back here to Lynn. Lynn in turn to Membray. Membray upfield now towards the centre-half forward zone. Goes straight over the head of Frost. And here's the chance now for Boyd to put it to Baldwin, to put it towards goal. And what's it done? Hit the post. That takes Frankston on to 12-9 and Preston on to 17-20. Onto the half-back line, marked by McKeon. McKeon now gets the lead from the outer side of the ground. Bryan is the player to come into it. Bryan now sends it to Fife. Fife now playing the loose man. And I think it's the second bounce of the ball I've seen all day. Well, naturally, with the conditions we've had. And Salvador comes in to take them up. Oh, a little bit of jugular going on here.
Well, Cain has had Salvador in his sights all day. And without going any further into that particular player, we've seen in a couple of incidents involving him. And how on earth, 26 minutes into a grand final quarter, he wants to carry on like that, I don't know. Try and prove himself a big man or what. But the game's over, and there's always next year for Frankston.
Well, you can hear the buzz from around the crowd. And the umpire is going to let it stay. Salvador, with a 15-metre penalty, will come right up onto the edge of the goal square. He's kicked 2 so far. And Salvador now, with a hold-up in play at the 27.5-minute mark into the last quarter. Preston winning the grand final as he puts it on its way, and it's a goal to Preston. Well, the umpire's moving down, still talking to players, but this is what started it all, Rex.
Yeah, have a look at that. Well, that's not headhunting. I'm not official.
So there it goes from one to the other. And the ball about to be bounced now. And there we go. Comes down to Jordan. Jordan towards the half-forward line. Gamble goes up. Traps the ball nicely now, and then with a long hand pass wide of the centre, and Kane getting the boos from the crowd. That's Glenn Kane. Towards the wing it goes, and immediately we see it return through the agency of McKeon up towards the half-forward line. There's Salvador again, and Salvador hooks it across the face of goals, but the mark has been taken by Burke. John Burke down in the left-forward pocket. Here's a Preston player cramped back here. It's Hallis. You'll see the mark, a good strong one too by Burke. He's lining them up now. He'll try and screw it around towards the goals, but not a good one. He's put it through for a behind again. And that takes Preston on to 18-21 to Frankston's 12 goals, 9. Well, we'll wait Hauler now to take the kick-off and getting near time, Bruce.
Yes, Phil, Hauler from the back pocket. Drop punt, looks for Bruin. He's outnumbered. Good mark though, Jim Bruin. Played very well. Went to play on. Umpire didn't read it, and Bruin about to go back at halfback. Goes short. Very bad kick. Brian did it well. Whipped it off Thomas. Then goes to centre half forward to Fife. Easy as you like to Burke. So Burke, who's kicked 4-5. Tried a bit of fancy stuff a minute ago with a kick round his body, but he just has to kick this one straight and rub it right in. 18-21 to 12-9. Drop punt, goal. So 5 to Burke.
And there goes the siren to win the 1984 grand final. As Bruce said, 5 to Burke. And that takes Frankston, or rather Preston, on to 19-21. Frankston 12 goals, 9. And look at the Preston supporters. Rex move out onto the ground, and Josh Kendall, the defeated, but should feel very, very proud of the way he was able to get the boys into the grand final. But what of Ray Shaw? The first premiership he's ever played in. He's to be congratulated. A magnificent effort by the captain and coach of the Preston side, and also the Preston team. They're a good team, Rex.
An excellent team, and the way they came back from the brink of disaster. 17 minutes into the first term when they were staring it down the barrel. 2 points to 5 straight goals at that stage. And the man being cheered out there, Raymond Shaw, can hold his head high, because not only did he prove himself one of the all-time great players of association football, winning a Liston before going to Collingwood, he proved himself and his men on the bench good tacticians. The move that for me won the game was G.A. Anderson onto Walsh, put that player out of business. Frankston stopped running, the rain came, and the game was sewn up.
All right, and the final scores, 19-21, 135 Preston to Frankston's 12-9, a total of 81. Let's have a look at our best player award for the Mitsubishi Trophy today.
Well, for mine, I thought Jordan was a magnificent player all day. I wrote down Fife. And for a player who I hadn't seen a lot of, Doyle was a great player. But for all the reasons I said, number 23 for Preston for mine, he was the great coach, the great player. He brought them out of the brink of disaster. He bought it off the fence in that first few minutes in the second quarter, got them going. For mine, BOG Ray Shaw.
Well, he was the architect of the win. What do you think, Bruce?
I think Rex has said it all, Phil. I think Ray Shaw deserves to be best on ground.
I agree, Ray Shaw, a tremendous captain's game. He linked the team together and led them particularly well.
Righto, and if the players can get out of that crush, the presentation will take place over here in front of the stands. And that will be the presentation of the Mitsubishi Cup for the first time in VFA football. A lot of the Preston players will move into the dressing rooms, or the Frankston players that change Guernseys. Down here, a disappointed side, but once they get over the initial shock, I think they'll be feeling pretty happy that they've gone as far as they did. But Bruce, you were saying there that we could see quite a few of the Preston players go over to the league next year.
Yes, Ray Shaw was saying during the week that they're going to lose a lot of players next year. The fact that their thirds and seconds continue to win premierships this year all goes well for the future of the club. But they've got 4 or 5 very good players, and in the end it was just that all-round strength and depth that made the difference. But what a great moment it is for Josh Kendall too, getting a great cheer from the Frankston fans, beaten but by G, far from disgraced.
Well, a good day too for the president of Frankston, I suppose. His wife Leonie won pre-selection for the seat of Dunkley down there. They've just informed me. All right, just before we go to the presentation, let's take this break.
Fife. Greg Fife.
Preston won the premiership down here today in the VFA Grand Final, 1921 to 12-9. And here's Tony Banks.
Thank you very much and welcome to the captain of Preston, Captain Coach Ray Shaw. And also, the champagne is...
Who won today?
Ray, lifetime ambition. The culmination of a lifetime ambition. You've played the premiership team at 30 years of age. You must be elated.
I really haven't felt it yet, Tony. It's a great thrill. You know, I like to congratulate Frankston too because they fought the game out really well. But also our players fought it out very well too. You know, we fought hard all year, and we deserve it, I think.
We've got pretty wet around here. I think I've worked out why Phil Gibbs didn't want this job. Pretty good, thanks. Right behind us, we have the Premier of the state of Victoria, Mr. John Kane. If I'm going to get wet, so is he. Yes. Give him the cup. Give him the cup. Well done.
We're going to give the Ray the cup now.
Yes. There's the cup.
We're going to try and do it on the mic. Just microphone on, Tom. We're going to try and do it on air. We're on air.
Ladies and gentlemen.
This is called live television.
All right, isn't it?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Victorian Football Association, we'd like to congratulate the Preston Football Club on winning the trio of premierships in first, reserves and third grade for the second season in a row. It is a great performance by a great football club, and it is my pleasure to ask the Premier of Victoria, the Honourable John Kane, to present the Premiership Cup to Ray Shaw.
Thanks, Alan. A great day for Preston, and thanks for all you supporters for your presence here today. Frankston, well done, but congratulations, Preston. Ray Shaw, a great player, a great leader, and he ran the show out there. Ray, please accept this on behalf of all football supporters. A great performance. Well done, Preston. There's a magnum of champagne for Ray if he wants it too. Ray? There you go, son.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to introduce Mr. Graham Sperling, Mitsubishi Motors, to present the Cup to the Premiers. Ray Shaw. Ray.
Congratulations, Ray. A great effort, great personal effort too. Really, really great game to watch. And well done, Frankston too.
Mr. Alan McHugh would like to present the Mitsubishi Best Player Award. Mr. Alan McHugh.
Who's got the cup? Who's got the cup? The best player on the ground for the day is Ray Shaw.
Ray Shaw.
Congratulations, Ray. Ray, have you got anything you'd like to say to the crowd?
Not really. Not really. No. You know, you can't hear it anyway, Tony, but I like to thank the VFA and also Channel 10 for their great job. And as I said before, I'd like to congratulate Frankston on their performance this year. Terrific job.
That sums it up. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have one more presentation. As you know, there is a very prestigious medal awarded to the best player on the ground. In the grand final, Ray has already won the Mitsubishi Award. The best player on the ground, the fabulous Memorial Norm Goss medal, goes to Neil Jordan of Preston. Tony Banks will now interview Neil.
Neil, well done. Congratulations. It's pretty hard out there, but you're up against the Liston Trophy winner, yet you did it well.
I was pretty happy with the first half. I thought he fought it out really well in the second half. I thought he played all right in the end. He started to work me out a bit better in the centre. But generally, I was pretty surprised at how well they kept going, Frankston, for the whole game. Although we were 6 goals up for most of the day, it was still touch and go where they only needed a couple of goals and you never know what could have happened.
Is it true that you've never played in a losing side?
That's at Preston. Just the last 4 years.
Not a bad record. Well done, Neil. Thank you very much. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to Preston and congratulations to Frankston.
Okay, and there it is. I think we have a camera in the rooms of Frankston. We'll just have a quick look in there. They'd be pretty unhappy, but nevertheless, as we said earlier, should be delighted about getting...
Well, Josh, first of all, on behalf of everybody from Frankston and the Preston side, you should feel very proud of all the boys here today from Frankston.
Yeah, we definitely have it. I've just mentioned that, Ted, to everybody here within the rooms, and I think all our supporters and everybody that came along should be proud. Particularly the second half of the game, we did fight it right out to the finish, and we can't ask for any more than that. Unfortunately, we didn't take advantage of the break that we had in the first 5 or 10 minutes of the game, and Preston are obviously a great side with a lot of experience, and we'll learn a lot from that.
Best of luck for next year, Josh.
Thanks very much, Ted.
Back to you, Phil.
They still sound happy down there in the Frankston dressing rooms. Well, we hope you've enjoyed the coverage over the final series. Rex Hunt, thank you for being with us. I'm sure everyone's enjoyed your comment.
Well, it's been great working with the whole team, and I thank you personally for involving me again. It's been a great experience.
All right, tight lines, Rex.
Yes, good fishing to you all.
And Bruce McAvaney, we've certainly enjoyed your company, and we'll look forward to hearing much more of you in football in the future.
Thanks very much, Phil. It's been a great pleasure for me.
And young Ian Gibbs over here. Thank you, Ian, for being with us.
Not as young as I used to be.
Right. And, of course, to our director, Brendan McKenna, who's been with us right throughout the final series, Phil Burns, the technical crew, and the camera crew particularly. I think they've done a wonderful job. All right, we say now from the 1984 VFA Grand Final, a very good afternoon to you all, not forgetting Jeff Grant.